My girlfriend said, I told everyone I'm single at work. It's easier that way. I replied, totally understand. Then I changed my relationship status to engaged with her boss's sister who'd been flirting with me for months. When she saw the office group chat explode, I, 32M, am still trying to process the explosion that happened last week. My girlfriend of 3 years, Amelia, 29F, and I live together. We split everything 50-50. I run my own IT consulting business, and she's a marketing manager at a mid-sized financial firm. This is important. For the last 6 months, my company has had a major contract with her firm. I was overseeing a huge server migration. It was a coincidence, but her boss, David, hired me because he knew my work. I was on site 3 or 4 days a week. From the start, Amelia was weird about it. Please don't come over and boyfriend me at my desk, she'd say. It's unprofessional. Fair enough. I'm a professional. When I'm on site, I'm working. I just did my job, kept my head down, and only interacted with the IT department and senior management. The project was managed by the COO, Clara, 35F. She's David's sister and co-owns the firm. She's sharp, no nonsense, and I'll just say it, has been openly friendly and a little flirtatious with me for months. In a professional way, but it was there. I, of course, never reciprocated. I was with Amelia. Anyway, the project was a huge success. We finished 2 weeks early. Last Thursday, the firm held a company-wide happy hour to celebrate the launch. Amelia explicitly told me not to come. It's a team-only thing. You being there would be weird. I was planning to just grab my laptop and go home. But as I was signing out, Clara and David both insisted I come. You're the man of the hour, Mark. You have to be here. First drink is on us. I couldn't really say no to the CEO and COO. I texted Amelia, hey, David and Clara are insisting I stay for the party, grabbing one drink and then I'm out. See you in a bit. She just replied, fine, just don't embarrass me. Embarrass her? Okay. The party was in a private section of a nice bar. I was talking to David about a potential retainer agreement when I looked over at Amelia. She was in a circle with her work friends and a guy I didn't recognize. He was tall, good-looking, expensive suit. He was laughing, and she was touching his arm. A lot. I didn't think much of it until I walked past them to get to the bar. I heard the guy, I later learned his name is Chad, a new hotshot manager, ask her, so, a girl like you, you've got to have a boyfriend hiding somewhere, right? I stopped. I couldn't help it. I just listened. I will never forget her laugh. It was light and breezy. God, no, she said. I'm totally single. It's just so much easier at work, you know? You can actually focus on your career. I hate all that relationship drama. Chad smiled. That's a relief. In that case, I'd love to take you out this weekend. Properly. I'd like that, she said. I didn't hear any more. I just turned around, walked out of the bar, and went home. When she got home 3 hours later, she was humming. She'd clearly had a great time. You left early, she said, tossing her keys in the bowl. I told you it was a team party. I heard you, I said, not looking up from my laptop. Heard what? Telling Chad you're single, and that you hate relationship drama, and that you'd like to go out with him. The color drained from her face. You were eavesdropping on me. I was walking to the bar, Amelia. You weren't exactly whispering. How long? How long what? How long have you been single at work? She huffed and crossed her arms. This is the part that kills me. She got defensive. I don't know. A few months. It's not a big deal. And Steph, it's just easier. People treat you differently. They take you more seriously. It's just a work thing. A work thing that involves you agreeing to go on a date with your manager? Oh my God, I was just flirting. It's how you network. You wouldn't understand. Now you're gonna make this a whole thing, aren't you? This is exactly the kind of drama I was talking about. She was gaslighting me, turning her lie into my drama. Something inside me just clicked. All the weirdness for the last 6 months. Her hating me being at her office, her never posting photos of us, her constant late nights working and team drinks. I just looked at her, stared, she fidgeted. What? I closed my laptop. You're right, I said. She blinked. I am? Yes, it's just easier. I totally understand. I stood up, grabbed my pillow and a blanket from the closet. What are you doing? She asked, her voice suddenly nervous. It's late, you've got your networking to do. I've got to be up early. I'll take the couch. Don't be ridiculous, Mark. Come to bed. No, I totally understand your position. We should keep things separate. It's easier. She stared at me, completely baffled, as I walked out and shut the living room door. I didn't sleep. I just sat in the dark, my mind racing. She wanted her work life to be separate. She wanted to be single? Fine. I'd give her exactly what she wanted. At 7 a.m. I sent a text to Clara. Clara, it's Mark. Apologies for the early text. Are you free for a coffee this morning, off-site? I need to discuss a sensitive matter regarding my contract and a potential conflict of interest. She replied almost immediately. 8 a.m. The cafe around the corner from the office. Is everything okay? It will be, I texted back. I just need to make sure I'm handling this professionally. I was done being the nice guy. She wanted a work relationship? I was going to give her one. Update 1. I met Clara at the cafe. She looked concerned. Mark, you look like you haven't slept. What's wrong? I was calm. Professional. Clara, I'm here because of a conflict of interest I just became aware of. It's Amelia. She's my girlfriend, or was. I'm ending the relationship. Last night, I overheard her telling Chad she's totally single and she accepted a date with him. When I confronted her, she confirmed she's been telling everyone at the office she's single for months because it's easier. Clara just nodded slowly, her expression hardening. She didn't tell him she was flirting to network? She did, yes. Clara sighed and leaned back. Mark, I'm going to be blunt. I've suspected this for a while. Her work has been suffering. She and Chad have been spending hours in meetings that produce nothing. They were supposed to be co-leading the pitch for the new Bridgeline account. That pitch is due in 2 weeks, and my brother David is breathing fire because it's nowhere near ready. This explains a lot. I nodded. I'm leaving her. I'm moving out. But my concern is this. I'm negotiating a retainer with your firm. I can't be in a position where my ex-girlfriend, an employee, can claim I'm biased or harassing her or creating a hostile environment. I need to get ahead of this. Clara looked at me, and a slow smile spread across her face. It was not a friendly smile. It was a predator's smile. Mark, she said, you're a professional. She is not. You're worried about her claiming harassment? She's the one who's been lying to her employer, her colleagues, and her partner. She's been wasting company time, and she's about to tank my brother's biggest potential client of the year. Oh no, you are not the one with the problem here. She is. What do you mean? I asked. I mean, I've been dealing with a minor annoyance of my own, a very pushy ex-boyfriend who won't stop sending gifts to the office, convinced we're getting back together. It's unprofessional, and it's undermining my authority. I was confused. I'm sorry to hear that. How does that relate to? It relates, she said, leaning in, because we have a mutual problem. A manipulative, unprofessional ex and an employee who thinks she can lie to everyone. What if we solved both problems at once? I'm still not following, I said. She wants to be single at work. She wants to be seen as a free agent. She wants to network. Let's give her the biggest networking opportunity of her life. My family's company. We're very old school. We're having our big quarterly review and success party next Friday. Everyone will be there, including the Bridgeline client. Okay. What if, she said, tapping her coffee cup, you and I gave them something to talk about? What if my annoying ex saw very publicly that I had moved on? And what if Amelia saw very publicly that you had too, with someone a little higher on the food chain? I stared at her. You're suggesting we pretend? I'm suggesting, she said, that we announce our engagement at the party. I almost choked on my coffee. You're serious? An engagement? Isn't that extreme? Is it? She lied to your face for months. She's actively trying to date her manager while living with you. She's an idiot and a liability. My brother wants her gone. This gives us the perfect, airtight, dramatic reason. She'll be so humiliated she'll have no choice but to resign. My ex will get the message, and you'll walk away as the guy who's now part of the family. It's clean, it's brutal, and frankly, I think it would be fun. She held out her hand. Don't worry, she said, seeing my hesitation. This is a business proposal, Mark. We'll call it off amicably a few weeks later. A whirlwind romance that burned too bright, but the damage to our respective problems will be done. Are you in? She was right. It was clean, it was brutal, and it was exactly what Amelia deserved. She wanted to play work games? Fine. I'd play. I'm in, I said. We shook on it. I went home. Amelia was already at work. I spent the next 4 days moving. I found a new apartment, a nice one, and signed the lease. I used my own savings. I methodically moved all my important things, my clothes, my computer gear, my financials. I left the furniture we bought together. I didn't care. Amelia was barely home. She'd come in late, smelling of perfume and wine, and crash in the bedroom. I stayed on the couch. We barely spoke. She seemed to be loving her new single life. "You're really gonna keep this up?" she asked me on Wednesday night. "Keep what up? I'm just giving you the space you said you wanted. Keeping work and life separate. It's easier, remember?" "Whatever, Mark. You're being a child." "Okay." She hated that. My one-word answers. She stormed off. On Friday, I moved the last of my things. The apartment was empty of me. I left my key on the kitchen counter with a note. "Amelia, you were right. It's just easier this way. We're done. Don't call me." Then I went to my new apartment, showered, and put on my best suit. I had a party to get to. I had an engagement to announce. Update 2. The quarterly review party was at a high-end hotel ballroom. This wasn't just some happy hour. This was the event. All staff, senior partners, and even some key clients. The Bridgeline client, Mr. Harrison, was at the front table. I walked in and Clara met me by the door. She looked incredible. She also looked nervous. "You ready for this?" she whispered. "I am," I said. "Good." She took my arm. "Let's mingle." We walked the room. As CEO David, her brother, was already on stage giving a year-in-review speech. Amelia was in the third row, sitting right next to Chad. I watched as she leaned over and whispered something in his ear, and he laughed. She had no idea I'd moved out. She probably hadn't even been home yet. She saw me walk in with Clara on my arm. Her eyes narrowed. The confusion on her face was delicious. She looked at me, then at Clara, then back at me. I just gave her a polite professional nod. She looked away, flustered. David finished his speech. "And now I'm going to turn it over to our COO, my sister Clara, for the project awards." Clara walked on stage, all business. She gave out awards. Salesperson of the Quarter, Best Team Synergy. Then she said, "And finally a special award. This goes to the man who saved our entire server migration, coming in under budget and ahead of schedule, Mr. Mark Hansen." The room applauded. I walked up to the stage. Clara handed me a glass plaque. "Thank you, Clara. Thank you, David. It was a pleasure working with your team." I started to walk off, but Clara put a hand on my arm. "Actually, Mark, there's one more announcement, isn't there?" The room went quiet. Amelia was staring, her mouth half open. Clara turned to the crowd. "As many of you know, this project has been my entire life for 6 months, but it's also brought something else into my life." She turned to me, beaming. "Mark and I, well, we're engaged." She grabbed my hand and held it up. On her finger was a massive diamond ring, which she later told me was her grandmother's, perfect for the role. The room went insane. Clapping, cheering. David, playing his part perfectly, ran up and hugged us both. "I'm so happy. Welcome to the family, Mark." I looked out over the crowd. I saw Clara's ex, the pushy one near the back. His face was pale, and he looked like he'd been punched. He turned and walked right out of the ballroom. Problem 1, solved. Then, my eyes found Amelia. She was on her feet, just standing there, pale as a ghost. Her friend next to her was grabbing her arm, saying something. Chad was looking at her, then at me, then at Clara, his face a mask of pure confusion. He looked like he'd just realized he'd been played. The office group chat on her table was exploding. I could see the screen lighting up from 30 feet away. Then she screamed, not a word, just a sound. "No." The room went dead silent. Everyone turned to her. What is this?" she yelled, pointing at me. "Mark? What are you doing? He's my boyfriend. He lives with me." Clara looked at her, feigning confusion. I'm sorry, Amelia. Your boyfriend. What are you talking about?" "Mark, tell them you're with me." She was starting to cry now. I just looked at her. Calmly. My voice was amplified by the microphone still on the podium. "Amelia, I'm confused. You told me 3 weeks ago in our apartment that you are totally single at work, that it's easier that way, that you hate relationship drama. I just took you at your word. I understood, so I moved on. You could have heard a pin drop. You what?" she whispered. "I moved out, Amelia. All my stuff is gone. I left my key on the counter. We're done. You said your work life and your personal life are separate. Well, Clara is my new work life and my new personal life." Amelia looked at Chad. then at David, then at the Bridgeline client, who was watching this whole thing with a look of utter disgust. David stepped forward. "Amelia, is this true? Have you been telling colleagues you're single?" Chad, trying to save himself, immediately said, "She told me she was single. She agreed to go out with me. I had no idea." Amelia looked at him, betrayed. "You?" Clara stepped back up to the mic. "Amelia, your performance has been under review for weeks. You and Chad were tasked with the Bridgeline pitch, and you've delivered nothing. You've been lying to senior management, to your colleagues, and apparently to your partner. This is the most unprofessional behavior I have ever seen." She turned to David. "Brother, I think this seals it." David nodded. "Amelia, Chad, you're both fired, effective immediately. Security will escort you to your desks to collect your personal belongings, then you will be removed from the premises." Amelia just collapsed. I'm not kidding. She just fell into her chair, sobbing. Chad was yelling, "This is unfair. She told me." Security was already there. They hauled Chad out, still protesting. They had to help Amelia to her feet. She was screaming, "Mark, you did this to me. You ruined my life." As they dragged her past the stage, I just leaned into the mic one last time. "No, Amelia, I just totally understood." The room was silent for a beat. Then Clara's ex-boyfriend was gone. Amelia and Chad were fired. The Bridgeline client was staring, and I was standing on stage, engaged to my new boss. My phone buzzed. It was a text from Amelia. "I hate you. I just deleted it." Final update, it's been 6 months. The fallout was, well, it was nuclear. The engagement, as planned, was called off about a month after the party. Clara and I posted a very amicable, very adult announcement about wanting different things and remaining the closest of friends. By then, the story of what really happened had cemented. Clara's annoying ex got the message and hasn't been heard from since. Amelia, as you can imagine, did not go quietly. The night she was fired, she went home to an empty apartment. She apparently had a total meltdown. She blew up my phone, my email. She called my parents. She called my clients. Then she went to social media. She posted a massive rambling story about how I was a manipulative monster, how Clara was a predator who stole me, how I planned to get her fired. She played the victim card so hard she almost broke it. She tagged the company, she tagged me, she tagged everyone. This lasted for about 48 hours. Then her own friends turned on her. One of her work besties, the one who sat next to her at the party, started leaking the real story. She posted screenshots of the group chats. The ones where Amelia bragged about networking with Chad. The ones where she called me clueless and laughed about how she had me trained. She posted texts where Amelia was planning what she'd do with her big bonus from the Bridgeline pitch. The one she wasn't even working on. It was a total public execution. Amelia's victim narrative evaporated instantly. She was exposed as a liar, a cheater, and a fraud. She deleted all her social media accounts within a day. As for Chad, he tried to sue for wrongful termination. David and Clara's lawyers buried him in a single motion. They produced his work logs, his meeting schedules, all with Amelia, and the unfinished, pathetic excuse for a pitch he'd submitted. He dropped the suit. Amelia couldn't find another job in the city. She was blacklisted. The financial marketing world is small. The story of the girl who got fired by the CEO at the company party after her single at work lie blew up in her face? That story travels. Last I heard, she'd moved back in with her parents in her hometown, 3 states away. She's apparently working as a receptionist at a dentist's office. And me? Well, my consulting business is booming. David and Clara were so impressed with my server migration, and let's be honest, my discretion and loyalty, that they put me on a massive permanent retainer. I'm my own boss, but I have the stability of a full-time job. I'm making triple what I was before. And Clara? Here's the part I didn't see coming. After we broke off our fake engagement, we kept grabbing coffee. Then it became dinner. Then it became, well, we've been dating, for real. For about 4 months now, it's different. It's not the drama and games I had with Amelia. It's easy. It's 2 adults who respect each other. We're partners in every sense of the word. We haven't told the office yet. We're enjoying the quiet. It's funny. Amelia said she wanted to be single at work because it was easier. She wanted to get ahead. In the end, she lost her job, her man, her friends, and her apartment. I just wanted a partner who respected me. And in the end, I got a new life, a new business, and a new partner who actually does. She wanted to play games. She just didn't realize I was playing chess while she was playing checkers. She wanted to be single. I just made sure she was, permanently. My girlfriend said, if your family doesn't like me, that's their problem. After she rolled her eyes at my mom all night, I said, you're right. Then I solved their problem in a way that made her regret ever sitting at that table. What I left on her plate. My girlfriend rolled her eyes at my mom for the third time in an hour. I watched it happen from across the table. That slow, deliberate eye roll that said everything without saying anything. My mom was mid-sentence, talking about her garden, nothing controversial, just tomatoes. And Jessica just sat there with this look on her face like she was being tortured. I'm Ryan, I'm 33. I've been with Jessica for 2 years. She's 29, works in some tech startup, doing something with apps, makes decent money, more than me, which she reminds me of in small ways. I run a landscaping company, started it 5 years ago. It's doing well, not rich, but solid. We'd been talking about moving in together. That's why this dinner was happening. My parents wanted to get to know her better before we took that step. Made sense to me. My family is tight. Mom, Dad, my younger sister Claire, who's 26, and my older brother Mike, who's 35 with 2 kids. We do Sunday dinners once a month. Nothing fancy, just family. Jessica had been to a couple of these dinners before. She was always polite enough, but I could tell she thought they were boring. She'd mentioned it in the car ride home last time. Do they always talk about the same stuff? It's like Groundhog Day. I'd laughed it off. Told her that's just how families are. But tonight was different. Tonight she wasn't even trying to hide it. The fourth eye roll came when my dad asked her about her job. He was genuinely interested. My dad's like that. Asks questions, wants to understand what people do. Jessica gave him this condescending explanation, like she was talking to a child. It's very technical, you probably wouldn't get it. My dad just nodded and went back to his pot roast. My sister Claire shot me a look. The kind of look that said, are you seeing this? I absolutely was. Then came the moment that changed everything. My mom brought out dessert, apple pie, made from scratch. She always makes pie for Sunday dinners. It's her thing. She was proud of this one. Mentioned she'd used apples from our neighbor's tree. Jessica looked at the pie, then at my mom and said, I'm not really into carbs right now. Trying to watch my figure. She patted her stomach. But thanks anyway. My mom's face fell for just a second before she recovered. Oh, that's okay, dear. More for everyone else. Jessica leaned over to me and whispered, loud enough for everyone to hear. Does she always push food on people like this? It's kind of passive-aggressive. The table went quiet. My brother Mike put his fork down. Claire's eyes went wide. My dad cleared his throat. I looked at Jessica, really looked at her, and something clicked. This wasn't nerves. This wasn't her being uncomfortable. This was who she was. This was how she saw my family, as beneath her. Can I talk to you for a second? I said, in the kitchen. We walked into the kitchen. I closed the door. What is your problem tonight? I kept my voice low. What do you mean? She crossed her arms. You've been rolling your eyes at my mom all night. You were rude to my dad. And that comment about the pie? That was completely out of line. She shrugged. I'm just being honest. If your family doesn't like me, that's their problem. There it was, clear as day. Not an apology, not even an acknowledgement that she'd been disrespectful. Just a shrug and a dismissal. You're right, I said. She looked surprised. I am? Yeah, if my family doesn't like you, that is their problem. And I'm gonna solve it for them right now. I walked back to the dining room. Everyone looked up. Sorry, everyone. Jessica's not feeling well. I'm gonna take her home. Jessica followed me out, confused. I feel fine. What are you doing? I grabbed my keys. We're leaving. We got to the car. She was quiet until we were halfway to her apartment. Then she started. That was so embarrassing. You made it seem like I did something wrong. You did do something wrong. You were incredibly rude to my entire family. Oh my God, I was not. You're being so sensitive. They're being sensitive. You rolled your eyes at my mom 4 times. I counted. You dismissed my dad. You insulted my mom's pie. And then you said, if they don't like you, it's their problem. It is their problem. Her voice got louder. I'm not going to fake being someone I'm not, just to impress your family. If they can't accept me as I am, Then maybe we shouldn't be together. I pulled up to her apartment, put the car in park, looked at her. You're right again. Maybe we shouldn't be together. Her face changed. Wait, what? We're done. I'm not going to be with someone who disrespects my family, especially my mom. You can think whatever you want about Sunday dinners being boring, but you don't get to treat them like they're beneath you. You're breaking up with me? Over one dinner? No, I'm breaking up with you because you just showed me exactly who you are, and I don't like it. She sat there, mouth open. Then the anger came. Fine, you know what? Your family is boring. Your mom is passive-aggressive, your dad asks stupid questions, and you're a landscaper. I was settling. You should be grateful someone like me even gave you a chance. I smiled, actually smiled, because she'd just confirmed everything. Get out of my car. Excuse me? Get out, we're at your place, this is done. She grabbed her purse and slammed the door. I watched her storm into her building, then I drove back to my parents' house. Everyone was still there, cleaning up. They all looked at me when I walked in. Is everything okay? My mom asked. It is now, I said. We broke up. My dad nodded slowly. That's probably for the best, son. I'm sorry, my mom said. I didn't mean to cause problems. You didn't cause anything, Mom? She did. You made a beautiful dinner and she was disrespectful. That's on her, not you. Claire hugged me. She was awful, Ryan. I was trying to give her a chance, but wow. Mike clapped me on the shoulder. You did the right thing. Family first. I stayed for another hour. Had a piece of that apple pie. It was perfect. My mom seemed relieved. She'd been holding tension all night that I hadn't fully noticed until it was gone. When I got home, my phone was blowing up. 20 texts from Jessica. They started apologetic and got progressively angrier. I'm sorry, I was just nervous. Can we please talk about this? You're being ridiculous? Your family is boring though. Answer me. You're gonna regret this. I can't believe you're choosing them over me. I blocked her number and went to bed. The next day at work, I got a call from a number I didn't recognize. I answered. Ryan? It was Melissa, Jessica's best friend. What do you want, Melissa? Jess is really upset. She says you dumped her for no reason. That's not what happened. I dumped her because she was disrespectful to my family. She said she was just being herself. She shouldn't have to pretend to like boring family dinners. Then she shouldn't date someone who values family. We're not compatible. It's that simple. You're being a jerk about this. Melissa, I really don't care what you think. Tell Jessica to stop having other people call me. We're done. I hung up. Over the next week, Jessica tried everything. She showed up at my work site twice. The first time, I was in the middle of installing a retaining wall for a client. She pulled up in her car and got out, heels sinking into the mud. Ryan, we need to talk. No, we don't. I'm working. You can't just end a 2-year relationship over one mistake. It wasn't one mistake. It was a pattern. I just finally paid attention to it. Now please leave. You're on a client's property. She looked around at my crew, who were all watching, got embarrassed and left. The second time she brought coffee, like that would fix it. I was meeting with a client, pricing out a new patio design. She walked right up and interrupted. I brought you coffee, your favorite. The client looked uncomfortable. I stood up. Jessica, you need to leave. I'm in the middle of a consultation. Just hear me out. 5 minutes. No. Leave or I'm calling the police for trespassing. She left, but not before telling my client, he's being completely unreasonable. I was nothing but nice to his family. After she was gone, the client looked at me. Ex-girlfriend? Yeah. Say no more. I've been there. We finished the consultation. I got the job. 2 weeks after the breakup, my sister called me. You need to check Jessica's social media. I'd already blocked her on everything, but I had Claire send me screenshots. Jessica had posted a long rant about how she'd been dating a man who chose his mommy over his girlfriend, and how some men never grow up and cut the cord. She called me immature, said I had an unhealthy attachment to my family, and that she dodged a bullet. The comments were split. Half were supporting her, half were calling her out. Someone had apparently heard the story from a mutual friend and posted, "Didn't you roll your eyes at his mom all night and insult her cooking? That's not choosing mommy, that's having basic respect." Jessica had responded, she was being passive-aggressive and I called it out. I'm not going to kiss up to someone just because she's his mom. I didn't respond to any of it, didn't engage. Just let her have her public meltdown while I moved on with my life. 3 weeks post-breakup, I was at a bar with Mike and some friends. We were watching a game, having a good time. Jessica walked in with Melissa and some other friends. She saw me immediately. I could tell she was deciding whether to come over. She did. "Ryan, hi." She was trying to sound casual. "Jessica, how have you been?" "Good." She waited for me to say more. I didn't. Just turned back to the game. "Can we talk? Maybe outside?" "There's nothing to talk about. I think we left things in a bad place. I just want to clear the air." I looked at her. Really looked at her. She looked tired. The confidence was gone. She looked smaller somehow. "The air is clear," I said. "You disrespected my family. I ended the relationship. That's it. There's nothing else to say." I was having a bad day. I shouldn't have acted that way. "You're right, you shouldn't have. But you did, and then you doubled down on it, and then you posted about it online. So no, I'm not interested in clearing anything. We're done. Please leave me alone." She stood there for another second, then walked back to her friends. I watched them whisper and look over. I didn't care. Mike leaned over. "Cold man, but fair." "Yeah," I said, "fair." A month later, I heard through mutual friends that Jessica was telling people I was controlling and that she escaped before I could isolate her from her friends. The story had completely changed. Now I was the villain. The guy who demanded she worship his family. The guy who couldn't handle a strong, independent woman. I didn't correct anyone. Didn't defend myself. The people who mattered knew the truth. My family knew. My real friends knew. Everyone else could think whatever they wanted. Then something interesting happened. I was at a networking event for local businesses, just mingling, making connections. A woman approached me, mid-30s, professional looking. "Are you Ryan, the landscaping guy?" "That's me." "I'm Amy. I own a property management company. I heard about your work from a client of mine. Also heard you recently became single." I laughed. "Word travels fast." "Small town," she said. "Also heard your ex was posting some pretty wild stuff about you online. Just want you to know, I know her. We went to college together, and I'm not surprised by any of it. She's always been like that. Thinks everyone is beneath her. Thanks for the heads up, but I'm good. That relationship is over." Good. She was always dramatic. Anyway, I actually do need some landscaping work done. 4 properties. Interested? We exchanged information. I ended up landing a contract worth about $40,000 over the year. All because I showed up to that event. 2 months post-breakup, Jessica called me from a new number. I recognized her voice immediately. "Before you hang up, please just listen." I hung up. She called back. I blocked the number. She called from another number. "Ryan, I'm sorry. I was wrong about everything. I see that now. I was insecure and I took it out on your family. I miss you. Can we please try again?" "No, why not? People make mistakes. I've apologized." "You apologized after 2 months of dragging my name through the mud, after showing up at my work, after posting lies online. That's not real remorse. That's regret that I didn't come crawling back." "That's not fair." "It's completely fair. You showed me exactly who you are, multiple times. I believe you, and I don't want that in my life." "So that's it? 2 years and you just throw it away?" "You threw it away when you disrespected my mom. When you said my family was boring, when you told me I should be grateful you gave me a chance. You ended this, Jessica. I just made it official." I hung up and blocked that number too. 3 months later, my mom called me. "Honey, you need to prepare yourself." Jessica's mom called me. "What? Why?" She wanted to apologize for her daughter's behavior. Said Jessica has been struggling and finally admitted to her what really happened that night. She feels terrible. She asked if there was any chance you two might work things out. "What did you say?" "I told her that was between you and Jessica, but that I appreciated the apology. She seemed very sorry. Said she didn't raise her daughter to act that way. That's nice of her, but no, there's no chance." I figured, just wanted you to know. Also, she mentioned Jessica lost her job recently, something about an attitude problem with her team. I didn't feel good about that, but I didn't feel bad either. Actions have consequences. She'd been disrespectful to my family. Apparently, that attitude extended to other parts of her life too. 4 months post-breakup, I ran into Jessica at a grocery store. Literally almost ran my cart into hers coming around a corner. "Oh, hi," she said. "Hi." We stood there awkwardly. "You look good," she said. "Thanks." "I'm sorry about everything. I really am." "Okay. Is that all you're going to say?" "What do you want me to say, Jessica?" "I don't know, that you forgive me, that maybe we can be friends. I don't have any anger toward you, but we're not going to be friends. What you did showed me your character. I don't want that in my life in any capacity." Her eyes welled up. "I made one mistake." "No, you made a choice. You chose to be disrespectful. You chose to double down when I called you out. You chose to trash me online. Those weren't mistakes. Those were choices. And I'm making a choice too, to move forward without you." I walked away, left her standing there in the produce section. That was 6 months ago. I haven't heard from her since. My life has been peaceful. Work is great. The contract with Amy's property management company has led to 3 more commercial clients. I'm looking at expanding the business, hiring more people. I've been seeing someone new for the past month. Her name is Lisa. She's a teacher. We met at a friend's barbecue. She's kind, funny, and respectful. Last week I brought her to Sunday dinner. She loved my mom's cooking, helped clear the table, asked my dad about his golf game, played with my nieces. She fit right in, natural, easy, no eye rolls, no condescension, just genuine warmth. After dinner, my mom pulled me aside while Lisa was playing a board game with Claire. "I like her," my mom said. "She's good people." "Yeah, she is. You deserve someone who appreciates you and your family. I'm glad you didn't settle." I hugged my mom. "Me too." The thing about that night with Jessica, the night everything ended, is that it wasn't really about the eye rolls or the pie comment. Those were symptoms. The real issue was respect. You don't get to disrespect the people I love and expect me to be okay with it. Family isn't perfect. Sunday dinners might be boring to some people, but they're mine, and they matter to me. Jessica wanted me to choose between her and my family. She thought she was calling a bluff. She thought I'd cave, apologize, and learn to accept her behavior. Instead, I solved their problem. I removed the person who didn't respect them. Simple as that. What I left on her plate that night wasn't just apple pie she refused to eat. It was the relationship she threw away, the future she dismissed, the respect she couldn't be bothered to show. She left all of that on the table when she rolled her eyes at my mom, and I made sure she understood exactly what that cost her. I heard through friends that she tells people I chose my family over her. Like it's an insult, like it makes me weak. But here's the thing, I did choose my family. And I'd make that choice again every single time. Because the right person doesn't make you choose. The right person becomes part of your family. They understand that love isn't about making someone pick sides. It's about building something together that includes the people who matter. Jessica never understood that. And that's why she's gone, and Lisa is here, laughing at my brother's terrible jokes and helping my mom with dishes. Some problems solve themselves when you have the courage to walk away. This was one of them. Last week, I was at my parents' house helping my dad build a new deck. Jessica drove by, slowed down, looked at the house, kept driving. My dad saw it too. "That her?" "Yeah. Good riddance." "Yep." We went back to work. The deck turned out great. We christened it that Sunday with a family dinner. Lisa brought flowers for my mom. My mom cried a little. Happy tears. That's what respect looks like. That's what family looks like. And I'm grateful every day that I didn't settle for less.